up, everybody? I'm Sal Kalani. This is Reggie Steele. And welcome to Spitballin. Spitballin.
What up, everybody? I'm Sal Kalani. This is Reggie Steele.
And welcome to Spitballin.
There it is, baby.
There it is, baby.
Reggie's a little under the weather. Thank God we're a remote, so I don't have to worry about catching it.
Yo, man, I was, like you said, I was feeling it last week. And it got worse on Tuesday, really kicked in on Wednesday. Thursday was bad. Friday, tried to go back to work. That was a mistake.
The COVID test was negative, everybody. That's everybody's first thought nowadays.
Oh yeah. Don't cough. Don't sneeze, sniff. Don't even rub your nose.
Hell no.
Oh hell.
I went to a movie this weekend and only one person was coughing in the theater and they happened to be sitting next to me. I wanted to kill the dude.
Oh my God. Isn't that the worst?
Oh,
that's
it's like,
the worst.
Yeah, sit next to me. And I was there first.
Dude, that is like the story of my life. It's like I could be on a plane. It could be completely empty except for like 2 people, 3 people, me, a mother, and a child. And the child will sit directly behind me and kick my seat the whole flight. No matter where I move, the kid moves and just kicks my seat. Dude, it's the worst. I was at the theater one time. I went to a movie once and it was like, no joke, it was 2, 4, 6, 8. It was 7 people because I was there by myself, right? It was 7 people. 7 people in the theater, 2 of them talking during the movie.
Oh, hell no.
Talking.
Did you say anything?
Nah, because they were just off and on, right? There was one part.
Man, see, Reg, if I was your size, I'd be saying something every time.
Exactly. And that's why if you were my size, we'd be talking about you in the past tense. Man, remember Sal? Yeah, man. He never held his tongue. He used to say stuff to people all the time. Yeah, till he met that wrong one. He met that one. That was not the one. So, yeah, you wouldn't be here, bro. I tell you right now.
So, hey, Reggie, you see something new in the studio here, and in Sal Kalani's studio, aka my bedroom. What do I attach to the bookcase behind me here?
Camino Real.
Yeah, dude, Camino Unreal. That's
Camino Unreal.
The movie I went to. That's Chris Voth, stand-up comedian, made that film in 3 days under $25,000.
Are you serious?
Yeah, feature film. It was screening one night in my neighborhood, so I went to check it out. He was there. It was cool, man. It was cool to see.
How is old Chris Voth?
Good, man. I mean, he was opening for Ron White for a while, and then I think Ron is retired. I think Ron was originally the person he said he was gonna have star in the movie, and he's like, and after a year of him not reading the script, I decided I'll just act in it.
No way. Are you serious?
I mean, man, famous people are busy, man. Like, but that's funny. That's a guy he worked with regularly, like all the time.
Yeah. But Ron White.
Well, what advantage? Like, what's he gonna come? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. I mean, Ron White, he had a moment.
You're gonna, yeah.
Yeah, he had a moment. He had his 15 minutes.
He did all right. I mean, I'd say Ron White out of that tour. I mean, he did pretty well, like stand-up wise. Better than
yeah. No, absolutely. There's no doubt about that. I mean, the guy had a career, right?
Yeah, he did really well.
I haven't taken you on tour with me, right? Because
there ain't nothing to tour.
Exactly. I'm not headlining. I believe me, I will never throw rocks at the throne, right? Like the dude did his thing, right? Like I can't deny that. I'm just saying that it wasn't like he was like some super iconic figure who changed the world. It's like, no, he was a solid dude that was a part of the
we're comics, man. We all ain't Gandhi.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he was a part of the blue collar comedy tour, right?
Right.
So they had,
but I would say out of the Foxworthy, Larry the Cable Guy, Ron White, and Billy Engel, and I think Ron stand-up wise, I think is one of the ones we can most probably relate to of those 4. Yes, where absolutely. Jeff kind of had his certain style, which was hugely popular, and everyone knows Larry the Cable Guy. But
yeah, and Jeff Jeff had a following way before the Blue Collar Comedy Tour, right? So Jeff really what brought the people, is who brought the people, right? I hadn't heard of Larry the Cable Guy or Ron White or Bill Engel until the Blue Collar Comedy Tour starring Jeff Foxworthy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Did we ask, when we had Steve Maison on, did we ask him about opening for Larry the Cable Guy?
I don't think we did.
Because he opened for him when he was recording the voice of the tow truck in Cars. Okay. So he was over in Pixar doing it.
Was it Mater?
Yeah. And then he'd come across the bay in the water and do the punchline. And Steve got to open for him. And he's like, yeah, he comes in. He's a totally different voice when he's talking to him and stuff. He's like, hey, how's it going? And then he goes up there and he's Larry the Cable Guy.
That's dude. That's how that's kind of like how John Witherspoon was, right? Off stage, John Witherspoon on stage was a character. Like his persona was a character. Because off stage, that dude was anything but. You got to coordinate. Bang, bang, bang.
Well,
bang,
yeah, I can see you acted it a little.
Yeah, oh, he definitely was selling.
But it wasn't a totally different voice. He amped it up a little.
It wasn't a totally different voice.
Or name or anything.
No, not even that. But it was definitely a different tone.
Different persona.
Yeah, different persona. He walk out, he's talking to me 1 minute. 1 minute he's like, brother, you got to get your money. Get your money. I'm telling you that you got to get your money, have you some property, and that way you ain't got to worry about this comedy shit. You ain't got to worry about acting. You ain't got, like you said, I keep the income coming in. I keep the money flowing. Because that's where that was his true love, his true passion. I mean, he loved to entertain. He was entertaining. He was funny. He was so talented. He could sing. He could dance. He can impersonate people. But he did all that to get them dollar bills, y'all. Okay. And so he was always, every time we talked, he was talking about the money, what the money was doing, how the money was going, where the money was coming from, and how he kept the money flowing. And then he'd be like, give it up for John Witherspoon. I'd be right back. Hey, you got the bang, bang, bang. Right? You got the coordinate. Yeah. He's like, I wear my best shit for y'all tonight.
That's
$20, $20, not 20. 20 and 20.
All right, Reg. Well, we got a guest today, Reggie.
Yeah, man. And, I'm glad she came through this time. Last week we missed her.
Yeah, Ester Steinberg. She's in the waiting room, so we should just start it up. Let's see if I can time it like you do. I'm never good at it.
Okay.
But yeah. So when do you start? Like right when the window's about to show? Like right now? Okay. Very funny stand-up comedian. You could check her album, Hebrew School Dropout. You might have seen her comedy special, Burning Bush. She's also acted in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Please give it up for the very funny Ester Steinberg, everybody. Yay! There she is.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Welcome. Welcome.
Hi, first off, Esther, this is Reggie, Esther.
Hi, Esther.
Hi, Reggie.
Nice to meet you.
Is it Reginald?
I was it's Reginald with an A, not the O, with the A. Reginald. I'm Reginald Steele.
I was
but
very
I go by
close.
Reggie.
Oh, that's cool. I was close to naming my child Reggie, but no Reginald.
Oh, why? What's wrong with Reginald?
But I didn't. I went with Nathan. I don't know. For some reason, I was like, I don't know about Reginald. I like Reggie.
Oh, Reggie's
and
great.
Then I was like, I quit. I just quit. I quit while I was ahead and went with Nathan. But it's a great name.
Nathan's a great name. But I'm telling you right now, Reggie, oh my goodness. People love Reggies. Reggies are just like, they love Nathan's too.
Yeah, I know. I feel like Nate is like, oh yeah, like the man's man or something.
Yeah, and Nate is also Nate is like a best friend. You know what I mean? Like he's everybody's best friend. It's like, yo, my man Nate. Oh, I can always depend on Nate. Nate is reliable, dependable, right? It's like you need something. Yo, we got a dead body.
Not a fuck up.
Exactly. Nate is not a fuck up. It's like, dude, what do we do with this dead body? Call Nate. He knows.
Call Nate.
Call Nate. Nate is the
guy.
Well,
let me ask you this, because Esther has 2 kids. She has Nathan and she has Moses, which is a powerful name.
Which is my excuse for having mental breakdowns like every other week.
Now, did you?
But yeah, Moses and
Why Moses? Why'd you go with Moses? Strong.
Well, he
well, the
freed
joke is that he entered the world through a burning bush.
Oh,
But that's just a
That's
bit. I don't know.
funny.
Moses just
I mean,
we had
didn't
to go with an M because we were naming after a dead Jew. Like Jews are named after dead Jews. You have to be a
okay.
dead Jew and then you get named, but you
That's
can't be
right.
alive.
You can't be alive. Well, why is that? Why is that?
You
Is there conflict? Like, what's the deal?
I don't know. Tradition. It's like I was actually named after a living person, and because there's like I'm like a different style. I'm the Sephardic Jew, which is like brown Jew, and then but the white Jews have to be after the dead. It's so strange. But anyways, I have a which dead Jew are you named after? Which is like an Andy Cohen.
Hold up there.
Yeah.
I never. This is all new to me. I got to tell you right
Yeah,
now.
me
Off the
too. I
top.
didn't know. Sarfodic?
You wait, you guys don't talk about this on the podcast every week?
I
Sal
keep bringing it
told
up, but Sal
me.
won't go. I keep trying to, but Sal's like, "Nah, Reg, come on, let's get past the Jewish shit, man." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Come on, bro." I'm like, as a brown man, I want to talk about the brown Jews, bro. Like,
Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
educate us. What's the difference? I don't get that.
Like about the living and the dead.
The brown, like the
separate
Sarfodic.
separate Jews have separate traditions and they hate each
Hmm.
other. No, I'm just joking.
okay.
Not necessarily, but anyways, yeah, like if you're from like Middle East, like Morocco and Israel and I don't know, Spain, yes, your skin color is a little more olive,
Mm,
but or whatever. There's honestly the skin color doesn't matter. It's just about the location and traditions and things like that and like Persian, whatever. And that everyone has their own style and thing. And then but I feel like America has like Polish, Russian, white Jews, they invented bagels, they like
Oh.
pickles, and they talk like this, and they're like, you're never cool. And that's
Oh, wow.
fine. We love them.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a whole that's bagel Jews, and then there's a whole hummus Jews. And so they're
Yeah.
That's like
Bagels and
that's
hummus
your
go
very
based off
together.
different.
that's based off your joke, right? Because you have a mom from Israel and your dad's from Florida. Is that correct? Oh, did she just freeze?
I think so. It's
Oh,
a good
bummer.
freeze though. That's a good.
That
She froze in a good. Oh, there you go.
oh, there we go. I got some
Yeah.
post editing
I've
to
been
do.
pretending to refresh them.
No, wait,
All
were
right,
you
well, I'm
really?
back.
Oh, okay.
No,
I'm
I
like, I've
wasn't
done that.
faking it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm like, you pose in a great position. I always freeze in like the worst position, like in the middle of saying a right, like there's a word. I'm having a stroke. It's
Yeah.
wow, that's awesome. Okay, so basically what you're saying is the Jews who are close in proximity to Africa are the brown Jews.
Yeah, probably, but
Yeah,
also, yeah. I mean, everyone in the Middle East looks the same to me. Jews,
right.
not Jew, Arabs, like they all kind of have a
Similar.
look.
Right.
And yeah, it's like, and then you could go around the map. I mean, they all the Scandinavians look alike, right? America's the only one that
That's
There's
a
a
little
melting
different.
pot.
Yeah.
Well, we were Native Americans once, This
All right,
So
so
this land is
wait, hold
not
up.
ours.
So I want to get back to this real quick. So you didn't name your kid Moses because he freed the Jews? I mean, like that's
We needed an M name because my husband's mom passed away like 14 years ago. So we needed an M, and I thought Moses was a great name because of Moses Malone. And
oh, that's what I was about to
also
say.
Moses,
Really, I was gonna say that's
Moses.
awesome. You almost became like my new favorite person. I'm like, she named her kid after Moses Malone. Dude, that's so awesome. And I'm a basketball guy, so
We didn't not think about Moses Malone. He was in the conversation. Like you want to do your due diligence when you name someone. Make sure it's
oh, absolutely, yeah,
really good. Google the name. Google it.
yeah.
I mean, her Moses, this kid plays basketball all the time. He's like 2.5. He might be the first Jewish NBA star one day.
Actually, Danny Avdicha plays for
Exactly, for Washington Wizards. He's the only one. I looked it up, and I know there was Amari Stoudemire who kind of converted recently. So really, let's be honest. And that other guy's straight from Israel. So
Okay, Jamal Murray looks like a Sephardic Jew to me, and I have to watch a lot of Nuggets games.
oh,
So I'm
that's
always
right. Her
like, you
husband's a
guys could,
Nuggets fan.
yeah,
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
and apparently that's important to him. But yeah, I could care less. It's just like, are you in a good mood? I have to check the Nugget scores to see if he's just like pissed off for no reason.
Oh my goodness, this is awesome. And they're having a great season. They're having a really good season. So he
I
should be in
love
a good mood.
what did you say about sports? It's just anything to keep the guys from going on mass shootings.
Yeah, I do think sports is just kind of busy talk, chit chat. It's just like busy work for boys. And I mean, I know some women, but let's like for the majority, it's men are catnip to sports. Sports are just the cocoa melon of men. They just watch it, everything goes away, and they're just happy. And you're like, give them chips, turn on the game, boom. They're not shooting up buildings. They're not at like give them a little win for their fantasy team, and we've got a whole lot less school shootings.
There it
Nice.
is.
I
There
hear
it
no
is.
lies. I hear no lies. Okay. I mean, honestly, as a guy who
Everyone's
can turn
like, women are crazy. And I'm like,
I mean, honestly, as a guy who can turn on Sports Center and watch the same episode, I don't know, for 4 hours or something,
so
and
great.
not skip a beat. So
Yeah, I will watch it, but then like I get so bored that I start talking about like the haircut or like, do you think he gets a manicure? I'm like anyone who's talking like Colin Cowhead, I'll watch for in the background, and he'll do like ad readings, and I'm always like making fun of his like Mercedes Benz, like or whatever, a cut above the rest. And I like the way they do. I have to get locked in with something like which one dated a Kardashian or like
nice.
I need some backstory
That's
because
funny. That's awesome.
I like basketball movies because then you're like invested in the backstory and you're like, okay, that person and his mom was like working and then she came to the game and then he needs to make it. So and I'm
Yeah.
like, I like some
You like
story.
backstory. I can dig it.
Mhm.
So let me ask you this. What names? So you ended with Nathan. I mean, you came with Nathan and Moses. What
Yeah.
name didn't make the cut? What was one name that
That's
you
it.
Reggie.
Reggie.
yeah, Reggie. That was it. Just that one? There were
Yeah,
others?
maybe if we get a dog, we'll name him Reggie.
That's all right, as long as it's not named after me. There's a guy I just met named Reggie. Let's name our dog that.
Here's
Great.
my dog, Reginald Steele.
Yeah, that's good.
I think Reggie Steele is better though. Reggie Steele. That's my joint.
All right. So a few weeks ago, I worked with Esther, and it was me, her, and Janesh. And it was the first time I believe all of us had parents not born in this country. And I didn't realize that at first. And then also, this is kind of funny. The opener is the only guy with the blue check mark on his Instagram. I noticed that
Wait,
this
who's the opener
weekend.
again?
Janesh.
Hold on. Let's talk about the blue check mark.
Okay, let's get into it.
$14.99 a month.
Well, he
really?
said he did. I asked him. He said he didn't pay for it. He said he sent something in. You could send articles or something to prove it's you. I don't know.
All right.
I asked though because I was like, "You didn't pay for this shit, did you?"
I got hacked because I got an email or something from Instagram saying that they wanted to give me a blue check, and I was I got hacked on Instagram, which my Instagram hack then hacked me on Facebook. And then I unhacked myself. Yeah.
How do you do that?
And then I unhacked myself.
Password change.
It was this weird thing where, and I think it was just Facebook that they hacked me by using the blue check thing. Anyways, so it's a month has gone by and I'm like, how do I get unhacked? And then Instagram goes, do you want to change your profile picture and your profile name to match your Facebook? And I was like, they're like, do you want to sync it? And I'm like, yeah, sync it. And as soon as I synced it, I sent my ID because I kept trying to get into my account, but he changed my account, changed the name. It was a man. And then I had to prove that it was me by syncing it, then submitting the ID, and all this had to happen before the guy like realized. And then I did it. And then he messaged me and was like, hi, I am your hacker. And he was from Aleppo. by the way, Syria. And then he was like, I'm your hacker. I just wanted to say blah, blah, blah. I was like, no, you don't get to explain yourself. I was like,
Yeah,
delete,
what?
report. He's just like, yeah, I know that I hacked you, but listen. No.
Wow. This is
I'm
new.
kind
I've
of
never
curious.
heard this.
What's his reasoning for hacking?
Oh, I am so unbelievably not curious.
Okay. So you're like, it doesn't matter. You did it.
Yeah, so talk to me about your motivation on hacking my like I don't want to get into the mindset of a hacker.
Right. I could
I
dig
mean,
it.
they do that to rip you off, make money off you, right? Is that what the advantage is?
You tell me. I don't know the mindset of a male hacker.
Male hacker.
Female hackers, is that?
No, if you add male to anything, it's just
It makes it
weird.
worse.
It is.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna tell me about a male hacker?
Dude, are you ordering the male salad? Oh, hell no.
Oh, that's hilarious. Are you gonna tell me about the male hacker? Yeah, get out of here. I don't need that.
Let me see. What's the motivation? He doesn't have sports in his life.
There you go. Nice callback. Oh, beautiful.
If
Dude.
you don't have a fantasy football team, you're gonna hack. You're gonna
Or shoot up school, or like
and shoot.
right.
Get a fantasy
Hack and
team.
shoot.
Hold up. She said, if you don't have sports, you're gonna hack, rape, and shoot. Holy shit! We need to have more sports everywhere, then all the time. I'm like,
I think more. I'm a fan of sports 24 hours a day. We add like 7 more leagues.
right. I think we should
Keep
have
the
more
schools safe.
billboards, like live action
We
billboards.
need to get more men like doing fantasy pickleballs and things like more sports. What about the race car? That's a new sport. The Europeans
Hold
are
up.
like racing, and now people are excited about it.
Esther, hold up. You realize you just said fantasy pickleball? You understand that? You know how funny that is? Hold up. Fantasy. Only people I've ever seen playing pickleball is like old white women.
Coming back. It's
It's the
becoming
new
big.
thing.
I
Yeah.
Is it
heard
like everybody's playing it?
It's back,
Everyone-
Reg.
Not me, men.
Men?
I'm just joking.
Oh,
I'm just
wow.
joking. I don't.
Okay.
Male
I'm like-
pickleball.
Yeah.
Oh.
Man.
Those male pickleballers.
Awesome. Okay.
All right. So I want to ask you about you growing up with a mom from Israel and your dad from the US. Because I grew up, with my dad from Sicily and mom from the US. How was it just you growing up or you had siblings?
I had 2 sisters.
Had. What is that?
They're now brothers.
Really?
No, I'm joking.
Oh, I was about to say, yo, that's next level.
I just wanted to see how you guys would react to a potential two trans brothers.
Hey, whatever makes
We
you
open
happy.
here. We
Just
cool.
like-
We welcome all.
Is this a
Yeah, we
trap?
Yeah,
Male
really.
sisters? Male sisters?
Where were you at in the number? Oldest,
I'm
youngest,
the
middle?
youngest of 3 girls, and I think that and then my mom was like this Israeli woman who, I mean, Israeli or not, she yelling was the friends who would come over were like, what happened? Did someone die? And I'm like, no, my mom's telling me to pick up my shoes from the front door. And it was at like levels that like register on a Richter scale. Like she
Wow.
yelled.
Was she hard of
And
hearing? Or is it just cultural?
Eventually
dude,
she
that's-
became part of
That's
hearing.
old country.
I'm like, well, if you're from another country, you get to yell. I don't know.
Dude, that's all my dad did was yell all the time. Like we got caught one time eating chicken wings in the bedroom and he came in yelling at my friend was like, holy fuck.
Yeah, it's always white friends. They're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't allowed to have any other color friends.
Yeah, really. He's probably upset that your chicken was brown. The hell? Eating brown chicken? Right? Hey, Basal, let's just be honest. Your dad was angry. Your dad was mad about everything. Like Sal's dad had big time anger issues.
Was your mom angry, Esther?
She was pissed, but
Really?
she had an excuse. She was working and she's an engineer. She's a mom. She had 3 girls. I don't know. It's super duper stressful. My dad had like a childish kind of behavior, a bit immature. Also, they were in their early 20s when they had kids, and my mom was super stressed out, and she just got mad all the time and screamed at us and took it out on us, and we were very scared of her.
and that's why you're.
And you weren't. Yeah. You weren't scared of the old man, of your dad?
No, he could snap, but it wasn't like it was like such an occasion for my dad to snap and like scream, but my mom was just like a constant yeller. And I don't know. Oh,
Funny.
she was like really big on grades. We had to get straight A's, and if you don't do this, you can't get that. It was a lot of
Oh.
threatening. And I once got arrested for shoplifting when I was in middle school because I'm an awesome kid, and I was grounded for a year.
No way, a
Wait,
year.
a year? Did
Was
she
it
didn't hold to that though, did she? Did she hold to
She
that?
said I could do school activities, but nothing else. And so I joined like every school program, and I was a cheerleader, and I was always at football games because football games were a school event. And so I was like, became such a nerd and so obsessed with school because I literally had no life.
Wow, for a year. Wait, what did you try to steal?
Yeah,
Like what?
It
definitely.
was like, so I was hanging out with a group of girls called the Bad Girls. Literally, they labeled themselves Bad Girls. And there's this one girl she was rich. She was like an annoying rich girl with nannies and stuff, no supervision. And and she was really into shoplifting. And so we were like laughing and joking. And we went to Sears, and then I shoplifted. I was banned from Sears
Sears.
Sears. Wow.
in
This
Tampa,
goes back.
Florida for
Okay.
a year banning. I haven't been back on my own account. It was just like, it was so dumb. I was the only one who got arrested, not this other girl. And then I never spoke to her, literally never again. I heard a rumor she was a stripper in Tampa.
Wow.
So I dodged a bullet. I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Holy cow.
How did you get caught and not her?
I guess I was the one, like that day we went to the mall and we were going to steal. And like that
Oh,
That was the
minute
plan?
was
Like you guys had planned to go
yes,
steal.
yes.
Okay.
So I had to go to the courthouse in Tampa to do like teen court as one of my actual legal requirements, like community service and teen court. And at teen court, and we did like a shoplift workshop, and they were like, all of you kids that are here, statistically, you will all be back here. And I said to myself, I was
wow.
like, I will never be back here. I was like,
Nice.
I will never, ever, 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 ever. And so I don't steal anymore. And life it's been fine. But there was like, I definitely went through, I feel like that's semi-normal to be like, I'm a teenager and I'm going to go through a shoplifting phase. But like shit like that would really light my mom. She told me like, I don't know if she said I don't love you anymore, but she was like, ooh, she basically said I don't love you anymore for a while.
Wow. And it's
For a
crazy because
year?
usually the youngest kid is the one who gets,
Oh, and
babied and
I had
stuff.
it light. Like my sister had alcohol at her 16th birthday party, and my parents they found the alcohol or whatever. I don't know how. And they made her return all of her presents and write a note why.
Oh my goodness. This is
Wow. That's
yo, I've been alive a
hardcore.
long time. I've never heard anything like this. This is
They're
yo,
crazy.
this is holy shit. Yeah, give all that back. But yeah, take it back and write a note. Good Lord.
Are they
Oh
still
my
together, your parents?
Yeah, and unhappily. They are like they like yell and scream at each other, and I'm like,
like you don't
have
have to
you
do this.
thought about separating?
Maybe just get
I
different
once had a
residences.
conversation with my mom. She was complaining about my dad, and I said, then get a divorce. And my dad overheard and was like mad.
Oh, is he?
Wow.
Wow. Are they both retired now? Or we're
But then one time I said to my mom that my dad can shove his dick up his ass, and he heard me on the phone. So my mom loves to have me like on speaker or someone on speaker phone and another family member to hear. She's so crazy.
dude, she said I can shove his dick up.
like like I'll be talking shit about my dad or something or say something, and he's right there, and she has him on speaker, but she's like egging me on to say something mean.
Wow.
Dude, that's look, okay, so I have a kid, right? I have a
You
kid. My kid is
do. You
10.
look
Yeah.
great for having a kid.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I don't
No
well,
stretch marks, nothing. You look gorge.
Thank you. Well, you should see from here down, it's all bad.
It's destroyed.
Yeah, from here, I'm like a I'm like an
Chewed
iceberg.
up nipples and yeah.
I'm like an iceberg from here down. It just goes into a triangle, right? But I couldn't imagine if I heard my kid talking mad shit about me, like after I got older. Like he's talking to his mom. He's like, yeah, Dad's a piece of shit. Like, how do you
Yeah, but why would she why? I would never, if someone was talking bad, I would never have it on speakerphone. I'd be like, 1 second.
Yeah, exactly.
What were you saying about Dad?
That's not even passive aggressive. That's just outright aggressive. It's like, yeah, what were you saying about your dad again?
Hold it.
Hold out the speaker.
Yeah, hold it out. She's like, I'm not saying this. This is your daughter.
Listen,
Coming through me.
and then it always ends being like, maybe everybody needed to hear.
Maybe you need to go shove your dick up your ass. Have you thought about that? What's your dad's name?
Michael.
Okay.
He thinks he's funny. He
see, I was gonna
was
ask
a
you.
comedian back in like the 80s, and he is like really interested in stand-up and really pushed me to do stand-up.
Oh, wow.
He makes like jokes that actually aggravate me, and sometimes he'll like write jokes, not go to an open mic, well, sometimes go to an open mic, but like at a very, very low level of comedy, he just enjoys the art form of writing jokes and
Wow.
like holding people hostage, like waiters and things like that, to tell them awful jokes, and his family. And I was like, I don't want to hear a joke. One of my pet peeves as a comedian is people will tell me jokes and then wait for me to laugh, and they'll be like, come on, you're a comedian, laugh. And I'm like, oh, no. I get paid to tell jokes. I don't get paid to laugh at jokes. What do you, I don't want to, how do you not understand the deal? Like,
right. And let's be honest, as
I don't like,
comedians, we don't laugh.
And you heard them
no.
all. You heard so many of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't. You know how comedians like to now we laugh at each other, right? But a lot of times
If
when
it's deserved.
if it's deserved,
Right, because you know, someone on the street isn't talking about ripping their dad's dick off and shoving it up the ass. So it's
Well, hold up.
Anything about
Why did you
ripping
add ripping? There was no ripping,
just,
Sal.
oh, there's ripping in my
You.
head.
Yeah, what?
You're talking about your dad.
Yeah, you see how Sal's head works? I was like, dude, please pull back from the ripping. Okay, let's just hold it up right now. All right. I'm like, Joe, you just took it up a whole. You just turned into the Game of Thrones around here. I'm
Nah,
like, Joe,
dude,
it's not that serious,
you know,
man.
when you say you take a machete and just slash the. No.
Oh, Sal.
All right. Anyway,
well, no, the point I was going to make is that a lot of times the way comedians laugh is we go, "Yo, that's funny." Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we don't necessarily laugh all the time, but we go, "Oh no, that's funny," which is not laughing, right? It's just like, "Oh, yeah, okay, it needs some work." Right? Maybe right? Like it's
I can't
got potential.
lie. I don't want to lie. It's hard to lie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even if someone just didn't do so great and you're like, good set. Like, I
I
can't.
don't say that.
Yeah,
you just you avoid them, but then they know what from that.
Or you go, whoa, you killed it.
You go the other way.
Mom, you just go, damn, killed it. And that's so funny. The next time someone eats shit, just say like, killed it.
High five. Oh, bro, your next level.
Or I'm like, thanks for warming them up. Good job.
Oh, that's hilarious. I usually, you know what? See, I'm too sincere because I can't lie to you and say you killed it or even say great set. I just go, all right, what'd you think? Right? Like,
or
I'm like,
who needs my approval of your bombing? Like, leave me out of it.
Or you just don't say anything. You just look at them and go,
let them sit with that.
Yeah, all right. You want something to drink? We got some free water in the green room. Go grab a. Got nothing for you, bro.
When did you start getting into stand-up then? And then did your dad encourage you right from the beginning?
Yes. So I was really interested and obsessed with like funny movies and comedy this and that. Like Spaceballs and Zoolander and that. And I just was like, oh, that's what I want to do. Like be funny, make comedies. And my dad's like, well, you need to do stand-up.
And this is what, you're a teenager?
I was like 15, 14, 15. Okay. And so he's like, yeah, you need to do stand-up. You can write jokes, then you get on stage and do them. And I was like, okay. And so he like signed me up for this little class and it was 3 other people who are middle-aged adults, and then me, a 15-year-old girl, and then, or 16 maybe. And then that graduation was like a 20-minute stand-up set where I invited all my friends. And then from there, I started working at Side Splitters as the ticket girl. And that was like the club that I would see 7 comedians a weekend. And then I would sometimes get to do guest spots. And I thought it
Wow.
was really special, and I was really excited and like pumped on comedy. And I was like, okay, I have to go to New York. I have to go to New York. And so for college, I went to NYU, and one of the big reasons I went there was like I had to be in New York so I could continue doing stand up. And I was like, by the time I'm 25, I'll be rich and famous and blah blah blah. And I was that none of that happened. No.
Did
It
you,
was it's a lot harder than it's just so unpredictable, and it's a challenging. I think getting on stage and telling jokes, I love, better I think every year. I'm into it. The industry of comedy is absolutely bizarre, and
Yeah.
and so like sometimes I get so bitter because the funniest people, they're like, what are you doing? And then the least funny people are like, oh, they're doing all this shit and they're going here and there.
Right.
And you see
Yeah.
people like flash in the pan, you see people like really build a career through something new and technology. It's all kind of, that's the bummer of it, the actual
Mhm.
industry. But the performing in front of people has been just wonderful. I love it.
And
Right. I
and
feel
how long have you been doing stand-up? I mean,
Like
15,
maybe
yes.
15 years.
oh wow, okay, okay.
So what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, I feel like because when I was in San Francisco, like when you're in a smaller market, it definitely felt more like an art and it was really enjoyable. And then when you come to the bigger market and it's really just the business, really, can you put asses in the seats? And then it kind of does take a lot of the fun out of it, and it bums you out a lot. It really does. That's true.
Well, you know,
That's true.
I think that there's a difference between, and you can speak to this probably way better than I could because I'm in the Bay. I'm in San Francisco Bay. I feel like New York and LA are completely different in regards to comedy. LA is about TV, television, acting, and this whole thing. Where I feel like in New York, I feel like they have a lot more respect for stand-up. There's a lot more shows. I know comics now who
Yeah.
make a living straight up just doing stand-up in New York. I mean, they probably do some colleges and things like that, but for the most part, they stay pretty busy in New York alone.
Sure. I mean, I think there's every single version and type of career possible. Like not no two people have a similar career. It's crazy. Everyone's is so unique and so different. It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
There's no rules.
Like
There's no.
there's no
no,
path to
there's no
follow.
HR.
No, there's no.
No HR. They
There's
just
no
really
like this. If you do this, like even you had the plan, but that doesn't necessarily. So, did you graduate from NYU? What did you
I did
study?
graduate. I studied theater, and it was
Oh, so you
fun.
can
I had a
act.
lot of gay men, and that I was hoping would go back into the closet, and it was I really liked it. There was a lot of weird things about going to college at NYU, but a lot of cool things too. I mean, it's a weird place. And people are like pretentious and artsy. And I was from
Mm,
Tampa, Florida, and so I walked into kind of pretentious artsy and kind of had to like be like, wait, what? Like I
yeah.
thought Adam Sandler was a great actor and his movies were awesome. Like my taste, it was like people were just like debating, Shakespeare and Moliere, and I had to quickly get with it because my frame
Wow.
of reference was definitely a different thing.
Yeah.
Did that make it? I mean, did that make it tougher? So try and.
I think I shed a bit of myself, a bit of my Tampa, bit of makes me me to be a sophisticated New Yorker, and I
Mm.
had fun. But now I'm like, how do I get back to the like
The essence of yourself, right?
who I ever was and
Right.
where I came from? So they probably beat out of us any kind of accent and things like that because we did so much like vocal training and working on the way we pronounce words and accents and things like that. But I think I used to probably say y'all and like some form of the South. And now you probably could never see me as someone. And it's also not Miami, it's Tampa. It's much more like Georgia and Florida than it is Miami, which is Cuba.
Right.
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 Um,
Uh,
I grew up I'm from the South too.
Really? Where?
I grew up in Birmingham, Alabama.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now you're in San Francisco. Are they?
Yeah.
They're the
Well,
same. That's the
Oakland.
Well,
same.
Oakland. I'm in
Actually,
Oakland.
Oakland.
I
He
live
doesn't
in
want to
Oakland.
Okay,
claim.
San
He doesn't
No,
want
no,
to
I just say
claim.
it's just easier to say the San Francisco Bay Area. I
Yeah,
live-
Oakland. It's all everyone knows what Oakland is.
It's just right
It's
outside.
so much cooler than San Francisco.
I
Nah, it
agree.
ain't. Nah, it used to be.
Yeah,
Well,
dude,
not
you're not
maybe.
you're not
All the
it's-
San
transplants are there
Francisco
now. It
is
is
just tech nerds,
now. Right.
money,
That's
and
true.
Whole
Yeah.
Foods and like robots delivering you Amazon packages.
Right. That's true. It's
That's funny.
changed.
Oakland
City's
still
changed
has
a
a
lot.
personality.
Yeah, Oakland is cool. I still like the city. I like the idea of the city. But when Sal and I started and coming up in the city, the city was, I mean, it was a hotbed of talent. It was so
great.
cool. The people were smart and open and liberal. I mean, they got little things and the nuances. It was really wonderful. Over the years, it's changed tremendously. So a lot of people moved from there into Oakland. So Oakland has become cool now.
Yeah,
Like all the cool
Oakland,
people.
to me, Oakland is Brooklyn, and I was Brooklyn, so therefore
Okay.
Oakland's cool. But yeah, I mean, and now I'm in the Valley. The Valley is Brooklyn. No, it's not. But I'm really trying. I'm pushing that. That's my agenda. I'm like, the Valley's cool. Like, LA is all like, you know, if you really want to go to West Hollywood, that's a thing. But let me tell you, it's only cool in the Valley. That's not true. But
Did you did stand up in New York? Oh, I'm sorry, I just
did.
cut you off.
Yes, no, I did stand up in New York for many years, probably like 4 years, then moved to LA for 3 years, then moved back to New York and did another like 3 years, which I don't even
Wow.
know if that adds up, which is crazy because I'm only 19. But it's when people start to talk about their like comedy careers, you start adding up. You're like, okay, 9 years here, 6 years there, 4 years there, 3.
Yeah.
How old are you?
Exactly.
I'm 92. I can't wait till I'm 92 and I'm like 16 years in Vegas, 41 years in LA.
Oh my God, you're
3
hilarious.
years and on the road. And I just like, I don't know. I've had ups and downs, but New York comedy is so wonderful and so great. Now I have like children, and New York is basically the hardest city in the whole universe in my brain to live with children. So I just have taken it out of the picture for me. But once upon a time, I was just like hustling, doing 4 spots a night or 3 spots, or just like climbing on like just grinding. I mean, I'm tired, like, take the subway to this show, run there, do your set, take the subway to that show, okay, grab a cab because you don't have enough time to get to that show. Like every
Yeah.
borough except for Staten Island, just hustling and grinding, and it's a whole lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's freezing cold, and it's exhilarating. And there's also, I think New York has a real drinking problem. I think it's a nighttime place.
Yeah.
Like LA, everyone's like bed early, open, wake up early. To me, LA feels like an early night out,
Right.
and New York is just getting started at 9
Well,
p.m.
yeah, I mean, come on, New York, the clubs stay open till 6 a.m., right?
I
5 and
mean,
6 a.m. It's crazy. So I was going to ask you, what was the biggest difference comedically between New York and LA? As far as what did you feel the difference was between the two?
there's a big one. The biggest thing is the jokes, literally writing out jokes. Like New Yorkers have written out jokes that they are performing with set up a punchline, maybe a callback. There is a joke, there is a rhythm, and they tell a joke and another joke and then another joke and then another joke and then another. And you're like, okay, that was comedy. That was comedy. There you go. In LA, they get up and they'll be like, person in the front row, and then they'll say something kind of funny, and maybe they do a wacky character. They're talking to someone else in the front row. You're like, okay, maybe there's like a riff or a bit or a thought in there, and they're like, what else? What else? They look at their phone, they put their cell phone back down, and now they're back to like the guy with the mustache. And somewhere you can find a lot of laughter and a lot of personality. I just don't usually hear the joke after joke after joke. The rhythm is gone, and you're like, okay, it's different.
You know, I noticed that I was in LA one time. I was down there for a Montreal callback, and I'm watching these guys performing, and a lot of them were LA comics at the time. And I'm sitting in the back of the room, and San Francisco is a combination, I think personally, of between New York and LA. LA seems to be, for me, I was like, there are no jokes in this. It's all performance, right? It's all like, yeah, the guy was like,
It's definitely bigger. Yeah, like a
yeah, it's
performance.
bigger.
Yeah.
There's more performance. It's like, I feel like everyone's auditioning, right, for a thing, right? But in San Francisco, we have, we tend to write and perform. And then New York, obviously, it's just technical. It's real technical. So yeah, I remember being in LA and I was sitting in the back of the room. And I was like, what is this? I was like, there's no joke. I was like, there's no joke. But people are laughing. I was like, that's not a joke. Like, it just seemed like it was all
Yeah.
like a setup. Like, it was all premise. It was all
Yeah, LA
premise.
sucks. LA sucks. They can't write it down. It's true. We could use some jokes. I mean, and then we say that there are some really funny people with lots and lots of jokes and whatever, but for the most part, there's a culture here that's like, people are performing and people want to get cast in a
Right.
television show or a movie, and
Right.
in New York they don't care. That's
Right.
not why they're there. You don't go
Right.
to New
Right.
York to be in a
Yeah,
TV
Right.
show.
they're for the craft.
The same with, yeah, that's how it felt in SF at a smaller level, but they don't care because there's no option,
Sometimes
Yeah.
I like to think about comedy like music. Like, if you're performing music somewhere in New Orleans or San Francisco, you're just performing your music. You're just your live music that you
Right.
get to perform. Okay.
Right.
So there's also music videos and people who are very visible, but that doesn't make you less of a musician if you're like jamming out and having this big performance live in a
Mhm.
city that's not New York or LA. Like, sometimes I think comedy, we all put this requirement that we have to be, I don't know, whoever's Amy Schumer, someone who's just like very visible on TV. And I think also we could just be performing comedians. We could just
Right.
be out there telling jokes to human beings who bought tickets to watch. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to like be, as a person, just so open to every version of comedy. And a
Mm.
lot of the times you're a professional comedian and you're not on TV. And
Right.
that's not a fucking requirement.
Right.
I mean, have I been
Yeah.
on TV? Of course. But I'm just trying to say,
Speaking of TV, oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
You want to go?
Oh, I
Sam?
wanted to ask about so you had this opportunity. You have a special, the
yes,
Burning Bush special. So you get this opportunity, but it's during COVID, and you're one of the few comedians who actually recorded a special during this time, right? During the pandemic. Like,
yeah.
and you did it, I believe, at the Rose Bowl. You did it in front of like
It was at the
cars.
Rose Bowl, which I've never heard of before. And they pitched it as it was the parking lot of the Rose Bowl. I don't know what to expect. I'm not organizing this or anything. Brian Volkweiss is directing it, and he's directed a bunch of stuff, and he's the comedy dynamics guy. And I'm like, okay, great. And they were gonna do 4 people and 1 per each night. Great. I don't know what to expect. I fly in to Pasadena, and then they're like, I don't know how they got cars there, but there was 300 cars, which means like 2 or 3 people per car. That's a lot of
Mhm.
people.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
And what they did is they put microphones in a handful of cars, and then they would project that laughter onto the stage and record that laughter so that they could then put it in the special so you can hear laughter, which is happening inside of a vehicle, which is bizarre. But also,
Wow.
what a great way to like separate people from other people, like in a bubble. And
Yeah.
people were like smoking weed. There was tons of dogs. If you watch the special for just the cutaways, people are like hitting bongs in their cars, and people are like, there's like dogs watching me, and apparently dogs are huge fans of mine.
Nice. Could you hear people laughing?
But yeah, she said it was mic'd and they projected it to the
Yeah,
stage.
because they mic'd up cars.
So it was live. You'd hear their reactions right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
So I will
Interesting.
give the audio engineers are brilliant geniuses for figuring that out.
Yeah.
In the
Wow.
middle of
That's
a
pretty cool.
pandemic where no one in a million years could predict, hey, you're going to have to mic people up and project their noise onto a stage because we're going to live in a world where we're not allowed to be next to each other.
Right.
Yeah, I
What?
mean, I'm kind of curious, like, were you
Yeah.
kind of bummed because we all want this opportunity, a comedy special, and then you get it, but it's in a whole different world. Like, it's no real audience, it's different audience.
I was slightly flustered with like the situation because originally it was supposed to be like in April of 2020 and blah blah. But I had just
Oh,
had a baby,
so
and I was like, I don't. I think I was sad at first. I'm like, what am I going to do? And I had a baby 6 weeks before we were going to shoot, but we were supposed to do it while I was pregnant. And
Mm.
pregnancy or not, you're just like, whoa, ew, no one wants to see a woman who just had a baby. Like, it's fun when they're pregnant, but not like immediately after a baby. You just want to die. Like, just hide and die for a long time until you're ready to like come out to the world again and be like, look at my baby. But like, I
Yeah.
was like, okay, so that's the version of me that they get, like a hormonal postpartum breastfeeding angry bitch in a
Wow.
pandemic who, like, I moved to New York because for my husband's job, I had to fly to LA and he didn't even walk foot into the office for his job that year. It's like right before COVID hit, we're like, we have to move for your
Yeah.
job. And then it was a year and a half of him doing his job on Zoom in our small Brooklyn apartment. And I'm just like, I'm
wow.
joking.
Wow.
But yeah, so I flew there and I had to say to myself, like, I've been waiting for an opportunity to do a special for quite some time, 42 years. And I was like, this is it. This is the opportunity I get. And I'm not gonna blow it. This is the
Right.
one. I'm given this opportunity to film a special. And who fucking cares if it's a global pandemic and my tits are the size of watermelons? That's probably a good thing. But I just was not gonna let postpartum or pandemic stop me from having a good time, and we did. And I rehearsed it like it was a monologue because I didn't get to perform it.
That's right. You
Right,
didn't get to
right.
practice in front of crowds because of
I did
COVID.
3 Zoom shows.
Wow.
And I just practiced it like it was a monologue. I was like, once 7 years ago, our father, like, I just rehearsed it like it was a script.
Wow.
Wow. That is interesting.
Are you happy with it?
Very.
Oh, good. Okay. I saw a couple clips and I was like, oh, she's hilarious. I was like, you're
It's
funny as
on,
hell.
so if people want to watch it,
Yeah.
it's on Amazon Prime, Burning Bush.
There was one joke that I did about like breastfeeding on the plane, or I had to pump my tits on the plane because if you don't pump, you lose your milk. And so I'm on the plane alone with no baby. A couple of weird dudes are there and they watched me pump and drink my own milk. And the reason I drank it was because I was so starving. It's like beyond
Wait, this is
starving.
not a
And
joke. You're sitting like
no, all the restaurants were closed. No one was handing out food. Like, New York City was just a ghost town. And
Yeah.
so was JFK was a ghost town. And so they weren't serving food. I'm starving. Like, it was a 6-hour flight and my stomach is now like growling uncontrollably. And I'm pumping my boobs, which make you extra hungry. And so I started to drink my own breast milk for sustenance, which is
Wow.
really weird.
That's like
Okay.
Grapes of Wrath shit.
Yes. And I was like, there's probably a guy watching me in his peripheral, just watching a woman in a mask pumping milk and drinking it like
Wow.
an animal.
Talking about
And
self-sufficient.
seriously, it was like, oh, these scary bitches. I don't know what's going on.
They don't need us anymore. Right?
They never did.
They never did.
And then I go and do my show, and I said to the director, and I was like, I kind of want to talk about pumping milk. And he was like, okay. I was like, yeah, it's not really a joke, but I think I can make it funny. It's really off the cuff. He was like, well, do it. And if it doesn't work, we'll cut it. And
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
it. Yeah.
okay.
Wow.
And so I did it, and it was it was one of my favorite parts of the special is that I just riffed this weird milk joke
That happened on the
Awesome.
way to the special.
Yes. And
That's
it was
that's
completely,
awesome. That's
and I
awesome.
said to myself, if this bombs, we'll cut it.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, who can? Yeah. That's awesome.
Wow. Wow.
Yo.
I didn't know he did it out of the way. That's funny. Wow. That's cool.
Okay, so what I want to ask you is, okay, so you grew up in Tampa. You're watching comedies as a kid. You love comedy. Your dad encourages you to do comedy. You take a class. You work your way into the clubs there. You move to New York. You go to college. You graduate. You're on the New York scene. When do you get to the point where it's like, oh, now, like, what led up to you being able to do a special, right? Like, was it festivals? Was
Oh.
it, you know what I mean? Like, what What
So
transpired between there and
okay, I think really the first album I did was I did comedy for 10 years. That was my thing. I worked really hard, created this like headlining set, and was like, I'm ready to record my album. And I
Mm,
was so excited. I was like, I'm going to do an album. And I contacted some people. I had a manager who I ended up getting from a Montreal callback. She watched me at the callback. I'm like, you don't even have to go to Canada. Just go to the callbacks. All the managers and agents are right there. So she sent my stuff out for the album, and I got with Comedy Dynamics, and they did my album, and I was really excited. And then 2 years later, I had a whole new hour of jokes, like
Wow.
45 minutes. And then I said, I want to do another album. And they were like, okay, well, sounds good. And then like a month later, they were like, actually, don't worry about the album because we want to offer you a special. And so
Wow.
to me, that
wow.
was, and I was so excited. And they're like, we're doing it with Tribeca. We're doing this and this and this. And I was really excited. And so
And
for
this
me,
is 2019, I imagine.
yeah,
Before.
it was supposed to
Wow.
be, so we were supposed to record this special in April 2020. But I think what I would give like advice to myself, which I already did, but the idea is you are ready to record 45 minutes or an hour, 45 to an hour. You are like, this is my best stuff. I love it. I love it. This is a piece of work in itself. That's an album. Like musicians make an album. You've got your songs, you're ready to go, and you make the album. And that's all I was thinking about. And I'm still thinking about albums
Mm,
because that's the next 45 minutes of jokes. And if someone wants to film it and make it a special, that's great too. But eventually, even the special becomes an album. So my
Right.
Spotify has Bush and Hebrew School Dropout, and then eventually I'll have my new album, and then how many albums? So when I die, you're gonna look on Spotify, and my work of all my comedy work is gonna be available as an album, and you can listen to it. A special is really lovely too, but that's just video on an album to me a little
Right.
bit.
okay.
And
Yeah.
I think for all comics or whatever, it's like get your album out there.
Mm,
And
Right.
then when you're
Right.
done with that one album, go get your second album. And maybe around that time, it was the same company who gave me the opportunity to do an album was the same company that's gave me an opportunity to do the special. So I didn't really do much tap dancing for that. But I think I'd like to think it really is about the album because then I get money from Sirius XM because they play your jokes.
right.
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 Spotify's not really. I don't know that
No.
Amazon is giving me money for the plays, like the actual special.
The video. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Interesting.
really?
I
I
don't
don't think
know.
they have much money though, Amazon.
Yeah. So you get notoriety or you get exposure rather, right?
More money in my
And
pocket comes from Sirius XM. Like I will say, Sirius
That's interesting.
XM and royalties with your album. If you
okay.
can get your album played on like Pandora and Spotify, I think Spotify doesn't really pay, but Sirius XM, and you're like, okay, this is money every month that
Right.
you get forever if they at least as long as
As,
they're
As long as it
playing
as
it.
long as
plays.
they're
Yeah.
playing it. Wow.
And
Okay.
that's been really helpful for survival. But
Mhm.
of course, selling tickets is like the big thing. So whatever, yeah, that's my next. I want to be selling out places when I go and do the road.
What?
Instead, I get like handfuls of fans and then I get handfuls of randoms. And
Okay.
then I'm like, not I if you don't hit a bonus, you don't come home with tons of money. And
Right.
so that's
Right.
what I need. I need butts and seats.
Yeah.
That's
That's the
That's
my
a,
bottom
that's what I
line.
was gonna ask. I was gonna ask, did you see an increase in your attendance or audience after the albums and the
it
special?
was hard COVID.
Or say
We
it
say
again.
again.
Yeah, you froze.
The special was in the middle of COVID, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
It's just
Okay, so
been a
numbers are
blur.
skewed.
I mean,
Yeah.
unfortunately, people aren't. I'm still very unknown. I'm a underdog, if you will. I'm not.
Oh,
I'm not a. I'm not a. People. I'm still growing a fan base, and that's something I don't have any good advice on because
Well, you know what? I'll just say this. For all the comics that I've worked with and the people that I've seen been able to really get it going, it's just being funny. And you're funny. You show
Oh,
up,
thanks.
seriously, you show up and you just kill it,
I
right?
show up unless it was last week. Like, you know,
There's a good
you
callback.
know
We didn't
what?
even bring that up the whole time. Look at that.
I asked, I like didn't show up last time, and I was truly feeling a nervous breakdown coming on. And I asked artificial intelligence to write an apology for a nervous breakdown. And this is what it came up with for
Oh wow.
you to know that I really put in the work.
That's funny.
Okay, here it is. I wanted to apologize for not showing up last week. I know I left you in a difficult situation. I'm sorry for any inconvenience. I experienced a mental breakdown that was completely unexpected. It came suddenly, and I was unable to leave my home or perform usual tasks. I didn't want to burden anyone with my struggles, so I decided to isolate myself until I felt better.
Wow.
Sorry for my absence. Please forgive me. I'll be seeking help and support to prevent something like this in the future.
Wow.
Holy cow. Just imagine if she missed something that was super important, right? Like,
That was
really?
artificial
That was
intelligence.
AI for a podcast. Oh my God. Just geez.
You can't be mad after
Bought
that
an
response.
AI,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
bought
I'm
an
like,
AI app.
yeah, I'm like,
And
wow. Well, it's okay.
anything you want.
Yeah,
Anything you want.
like it's okay. Let me ask you this. So, who are your influences? Like, who did you really enjoy watching growing up, and who do you? Not that you pattern yourself after anyone, but who made you laugh the most?
I loved George Carlin, like
Okay.
obsessed. I really had a thing for him. Oddly, like Louis Black and Wanda Sykes. I really liked Sarah Silverman. I liked Margaret Cho. I liked Ellen's stand up like 100 years ago.
Mm.
Here now,
That's strong.
yeah, she did something really different. And who else? I mean, I feel like I was a big, yeah, I liked listening to Eddie Murphy.
Okay.
I just like his albums, literally like listening to his albums in the car. Oh, I listened to Dane Cook's album in the car. I
Yeah.
mean, albums really do it for me. And
Okay.
now I think my big guy is Gary Goldman. I listen to his
Oh,
albums a lot.
I love Gary Goldman. Goldman is so funny. He's so funny. I was able to work with him years ago, and I just you know how it is. Sometimes when you're working with someone, you sit in the showroom and you watch them, and other times you may just be in the green room,
Yeah,
sitting on
Sal
your
was
phone.
in the green room, like kind of.
Whatever. I watched
I'm joking. I'm joking.
and I specifically do this a lot too. Like I'll go to the side, I'll watch one show for sure, and I'll sit in the side and I was watching and then I filmed some bald men up front during that show. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny though.
Well, Gary's one of those guys that I sit in the showroom and just watch him because he's so technical and it's just his pacing, his delivery, and it's just hilarious.
I
So.
love that basketball joke he does about how you have to stop the whole game because you hit him on the arm and everyone gathers around and watch.
Yeah.
I love the States. Oh, good.
Reason I like adore and worship his stand up, I think, is like in the ways I find challenging, or sometimes like, oh no, I'm hitting this topic too much, and then I watch Gary Goldman or listen to him, and I'm like, oh, he hits the topics over and over again,
Yeah.
but makes it
Right.
funny and fresh, or he just likes to go through every angle of a way to look at something and does. And also he's not dirty, and that's something. I go dirty. I go because I want to, because that's who
You're,
I am.
you're right.
But I do admire how he's pretty much PG.
Like he's
Yeah.
clean. Yeah.
You don't even
Unreal.
think of
Funny.
it. You
Yeah.
don't realize it at first,
No,
which
he's
is
not
cool.
being cheesy or corny or
Right.
like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be clean. He's just
Right.
that
He's
good
not.
that he
Yeah.
doesn't need to. And it's probably like, why would I be talking about dicks and pussy when everyone else is? It's a little hack, isn't it?
Just for the record, I don't talk about dicks and pussies at all. Or at least I haven't. Maybe I should.
It's my entire act. but really details, because the dicks that I'm talking about are baby dicks. True,
I think you deal
a
with those.
child going potty is my life.
Okay.
When I talk about pussies, I'm talking about banged up, stretched out, pregnant pussies. Just
Okay.
not, yeah. It's
Okay.
not your regular
It's not your
decent
typical.
pussy material.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Wait,
Is
hold
there
on.
anything
So
else? Well, go ahead, Reg. What else you got? Go
I was
ahead,
gonna say
Reg.
the TV show. I was looking for the name of it.
Oh,
Oh,
The Marvelous
Mrs.
Mrs. Maisel.
The new season is coming out. There's a
Okay.
plug.
That
All
show is
right.
great, by the way. And your husband writes for that show.
Yes. He wrote and he does a lot of the funny. He works on the funny parts, the funny
Okay.
writing jokes.
Okay.
You can do
So,
that.
but you're in the upcoming season.
No,
Is-
I was in the
Oh,
best season.
The best season. You're in the second season. Okay. How was that working on that show? Because that show was phenomenal. It was really funny, right?
It
And
was
it's really,
cool. It was such a dream. It was really fun. And Tony Shalhoub is like one of the big stars. And we were being transported from upstate New York back to New York City because that's where they were filming. And Tony Shalhoub was in the van with us. And he spent the day doing lots of like stretching because that was the scene was about him like doing stretches by the lake.
yeah.
And when we were in the van, everyone was dead silent. And Tony was like, ugh. Ugh, ugh. And it was just like it was just a rhythm of him just oohing and eyeing over his body parts, like the silence of a car. Ah, ah, oof, oof, oof. And I was like, is he doing his character? But yeah,
That's
I had a
funny.
blast. I mean, my dream is to like be on set every day, to like wake up and Monday mornings and Tuesday, Wednesday, like really have that go in, work on the show. Like it's so fun. And
Yeah.
also I think it's lucrative. It's lucrative.
Oh, it's so lucrative. It's so lucrative. I'll
want
admit too,
that. I want that.
I love being on set. I love call times. I love
I love the
makeup
free
and
food.
wardrobe. Man, damn
Oh,
craft services. I
food.
mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
the food was
craft services is
good.
cool. But yo, I'm like, there's nothing better than getting your trailer, your name's there, kind of chilling.
Mhm.
Someone coming to get you, Mr. Steele, or it's time for whatever, walking you over. They got the headsets
Yeah.
on, right? You just feel so,
They make you look pretty. They
yo,
put me in a costume and I was like,
yo.
yeah.
Oh,
They're like, get this woman off set. Who is she?
oh, it's funny how the difference of how they treat, principal actors and people who are just kind of,
Oh.
background or whatever.
Classism.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you right now, and I'll make this quick. I was doing this show called Trauma. It was filming here in San Francisco, and
Of
I'm a
course.
principal, right? I'm a principal actor, right? I'm on, and I got lines, whatever the case. It's freezing. Call time super early in the morning. We're outside. We're freezing, and one of the techs, or not techs, but one of the whoever PAs come up. He's like, "Are you cold? You need something?" I was like, "Yeah, it's a little chilly." So he brings me this whole big coat, covers me up, and I'm like, "Oh!" It brings me tea. This whole thing. There's literally a dude standing next to me who has no lines. He's shivering. This dude got icicles hanging from his face. No one looks at this dude. He literally could have died right there. And no one helped him out at all. Right? I felt so bad. I was like, I went over to like the little tent area where they had the heaters at, and dude is just out there standing, like, because no one said anything to him. And I was like, hey dude, you can come hang out with me, man. I'm like, you can't have my coat, but you can at least be in the tent. But I was like, oh, this is the difference between like,
Oh yeah.
The extras are treated like dirt.
Dude, I remember doing an extra on a movie.
Yeah.
And then the principals get their meal and it's like meat. And then the extras got our meal and it was like fucking spaghetti. Like shit spaghetti. And I'm like, what is this? We don't even get meat.
And this is why I never did extra work.
Yeah, my first month in LA, maybe my like first like 3 months in LA, I decided that for the first couple months I wanted to just be an extra like full time and see what production is like and it was pretty brutal, but I remember one time it was fun, and that's when we did like a multicam. I forget what the show was called, but it was a multicam where they needed like girls working out at the gym, and the main guys were like, "Oh, this gym has hot girls." And it was fun because it was in a live audience and food was really good and everyone was like having fun and it was like, yeah. And I remember thinking multicam is way more fun than anything else.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, because then you don't have to
Even
keep
as an
shooting.
extra, it's fun. Yeah, and
Yeah.
they're not gonna treat you like shit in front of a live studio audience.
Right,
Come
right.
on, here's a water bottle. You're a
Yeah.
prop. Don't drink it.
Yeah. You're a prop. Don't drink it. It's hilarious. You just stand. You want to act like you're drinking it, but don't drink it.
Dude, you
Not-
better not let that go in your mouth.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, no, cut. I need a new extra. This one can't.
Yeah.
Right?
Throw them away. These useless extras. It's so sad.
You got anything you want to promote before we let you go?
I've been posting lots of fun clips on Instagram, and I post shows that I'm doing. And yeah, please follow me, Ester.Steinberg, and you'll see pictures of my kids. I've got nude pictures of myself. I did a nude photo shoot. You have to like really search for it. It was like 3 years ago. What if I send everyone on a wild goose chase for this?
It's never
like,
there.
fake? It's not there. Just follow me.
Yeah, really.
Once a month, I story a nude picture. Follow me.
I'm like, pretty soon you'll be advertising your OnlyFans page.
I'm so late to the OnlyFans game because I'm scared if I do an OnlyFans, no one will subscribe.
Hey, you really have a documentary coming out? You really working on a documentary?
I'm working on it. I'm working on a documentary.
Can you talk about it yet?
Yeah, I mean, I can talk about it. I'm getting a nose job because I fucking feel like it.
No way. Are you serious?
Yes.
Wait, what are you gonna do? Oh, go ahead.
I want a fucking nose job. And every time I tell someone that, whether they're my best friend or a perfect stranger, they yell at me and go, "No, don't! Oh my God, you can't! Stop! I love your nose. Stop!"
I'm glad I didn't say anything.
Shut the fuck up and tell me, slay, girl.
There you go.
Like, people's reaction to my nose job is seriously like, "Stop it, no!" And I'm sick of that. And someone was like, "You're gonna make Jewish girls like hate themselves," and I'm like, I am.
Yeah,
and then and people. So I want to do a documentary where I really get into the nose job, sort of specifically about being a Jewish girl, but also like wanting a mommy makeover and what it means to like have 2 kids and feel like a used car and want to like get a fucking renovation. Like, you have your house forever and then you get your money, you renovate that house. And my face needs a renovation, and I'm so sick of feeling so bad about wanting this thing. I don't want everyone to get a nose job. I don't fucking care what anyone else's nose look like. I want to do it. And I've taken so much time. I have a therapist, and all I've been doing has been like, actually, I might not be a role model for loving your nose, but I am a role model for doing whatever the fuck you want to do that's going to make you happy, that's going to make you confident, and tell everyone they can shut the fuck up and rip off their dicks and put it in their butts.
Rip them off.
Such a visceral image. Oh, all right, well, I got to ask you this.
On a positive note, I think if human beings want to change something about themselves, you live once, do whatever the fuck makes you happy. You want your hair to be purple, dye it purple. You want to get a nose job, get a nose job. You want tits, get tits. Do you, be authentic to you and make yourself happy. No one else is going to. And I think that that's the theme at the end, because there's plenty of stuff about like, don't love your body, but I'm the voice of change your body.
Oh, hilarious. Oh man, I see now. That's such a great ending. I feel like I don't want to ask another question, but
good.
No, I got to, because she mentioned it. Because the moment you said it, then I started looking at your nose.
Don't need a nose job.
Well, no, I'm not. Listen,
great.
After that whole thing, believe me, I'm not telling you anything to do. All right, exactly. I'm supporting you 100%.
My body, my choice.
Yes, your body, your nose, your choice. But I'm just curious, what do you want to do? What is it that you, or are we saving that for
a little more feminine? I want to take away the bump and just kind of make it just slightly smaller. It takes up too much real estate when I smile. All right, ready?
Okay. Oh, I don't see. It looks great. Yeah, exactly.
It feels large. And we live in a world with social media, with Zoom, that we're always staring at our own fucking faces. And of course, it's psychological.
I'm
in
looking.
in a world we were never in the 70s. Everyone was running around talking to each other. Now
Right.
it's FaceTime. You're looking at your face. You're on Zoom looking at your face. You're on Instagram posting your dumb face. It's just, I think that it's society's problem, not mine. I'm
I
just a
mean,
victim.
you look at
Okay.
actors in the 70s and now on TV, it's a complete different. Like I'm like, oh wow, you could have gap in your teeth. You can look all fucked up in the 70s and act.
Right.
Not now.
Yeah, now everyone looks
Yeah.
perfect.
But you
Okay.
know,
Has
I'm
anyone ever
looking
said
here.
anything to you? Has anyone ever mentioned anything to you about your nose? Did
Not
you ever get
really.
even if you didn't get
People
teased as a
love to tell
kid?
me how much they love it, and that to me is a red flag.
Is that more of a motivation now that
Oh.
people tell you not to do it? So now you're like, I'm
A
definitely
It's like
little
doing it.
bit.
it's like you can't.
People are like, Esther, I actually like your nose, and it's always coming from some bitch with a tiny button nose. I'm like, oh, do you? Do you love my nose? Do you?
I mean, I
That's
love. Look
awesome.
at here. We got Jewish, Italian, and African American here.
Men,
We're
it
not
doesn't matter.
the
Let me tell you
nose areas
something.
here.
Big noses on a man make a man masculine.
Does it really? Does it really?
Masculine men with masculine big noses, it all works out. Mia Khalifa got a nose job and she was doing all kinds of weird shit. And no,
I'm
honestly,
sorry.
I'm not here to have everyone question their nose. If you look in the mirror every day and you go, I've always not liked this part of me, I would say, well, then get the fuck rid of it. Then change it.
You
If
know
it's
what?
eating at you.
I'll say this: when I was a kid, my mom used to tease. No, she didn't tease me. My mom used to tell me all the time if I had a cold, I'd rub my nose really hard, and she'd go, you got to stop doing that. And I'm like, well, my nose is itching, and she's like, you're gonna spread your nose out of your whole face because it's like eventually what ended up happening, like kind of broke the cartilage,
No way.
right? And so my nose can
You
look like
need
I'm a
nose
boxer.
job, Reggie.
Well, you really did that? You broke the cartilage?
Well, I mean, dude, look at
you could
this.
do that?
I don't know. I just know that I rubbed it so much.
I think dude. You can it's all cartilage. You don't
I think
break
so, but
cartilage. It just
look,
moves like that.
I'm just saying my mom put this idea in my head because my nose, see how your nose kind of goes, your nose goes like this. It goes, it's like a hard penis, right?
It's
just-
different.
it comes
Ours
back.
go out, yours goes out.
Mine goes
My
like this.
Husband has a knee problem and he doesn't have cartilage right now. He's like needs more cartilage in his knees, and so we asked the doctor if we could take the cartilage from my nose and put it in his knee. That's a joke. That's his joke.
Okay.
We've talked about it. We actually.
That's pretty good.
We're having fun. I have some like I said no to the nose, and I'm ready for my forever nose, and I don't know. I'm just excited about. I think I'm excited about a little bit of a makeover.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I can't wait to
good
see the
for you.
documentary.
Call me
I can't wait to see the
crazy.
before and after pictures. Right?
No, everyone's first it's Esther, I love your nose, and then it's show me the pictures. Let's see your nose.
Yeah.
I might actually go off of Instagram like the month before, and then come back on Instagram with purple hair. Wait, because here's the thing.
Okay.
If you dye your hair purple or do something drastic and go away, then people stop thinking she got a nose job and they go, oh, she just dyed her hair purple.
They won't even notice. They won't even notice.
Know.
Right.
Yeah.
But you'll notice, and that's the only thing that matters, right? It doesn't matter what anybody else notices.
I look like I got a lot of sleep. People are just like, wow, you look really rested. I'm like, I got a nose job. Wait, your hair purple? I'm like, right? Isn't it cool? Like,
Yeah.
I never knew it could do wonders for the middle of your face.
You got me thinking now. I'm like, maybe do I need to?
No, honestly,
We should-
Sal is the one who should be thinking about it, not you, Reggie. Like,
Yes, I
Hey,
agree.
what the
Sal,
fuck?
Your nose, at least mine looks like it kind of has a point. It comes out.
So I will say Adam Driver is like
This is Sal's
hot
nose
and
right
his
here.
nose
Fuck
is
you,
dynamic.
man.
Also, Adrian Brody is super sexy and hot, and I love him. And he has his nose is so big. So men don't.
That doesn't help you.
I don't. I think
Adrian
a lot of
Brody's
women
nose
have
is
bigger
ridiculous.
noses too, like Barbara Streisand and Sarah Jessica Parker and things like that. So a big nose, like that, doesn't mean anything. If you look at, I'm telling you, if you look in the mirror and for every day for 10 years, you're like, I would like to change this, then you're on my level. But yeah,
Okay.
start
And
thinking, I'll talk to you in 10 years.
we have three distinct noses right now. I feel like we could
We
be
should
like
all
the,
just get nose jobs in
no,
the
I feel like we could
Talk
be
about
the
noses enough.
I know. I feel like we could be the posters where you can go and be like, which one do you want? Ooh.
yeah, which one do you want?
Yeah, which one do you want? Like
We're 4 pictures, honey. We're before. We're the before.
Or the before, yeah.
the
The black Italian and Jew, the worst noses in the world.
No one's getting our after. Instead of a nose job, I'm calling it a nose reduction.
Okay, that sounds more professional.
I'm joking. I said no.
Okay. Oh, I was gonna say my mom. Right, I'm not gonna say my women get breast reductions, right?
No,
So
that's
Sure
true.
do.
yeah,
That's
you know,
true.
Those
save those
selfish
backs.
bitches.
Yeah, no one's making them bigger. That's true. No one's making the nose bigger.
That's
I need
funny.
a double
That's
D
funny.
nose.
Yo, that's hilarious. Just that idea of like, I feel like I just need more nose. Is there like I got an African nose right now? Is there any way I can get it out to here? Like I want my nose to be as wide as my mouth. Can I get just a huge like no?
I don't know what to say to
Honestly,
that, right?
I'm starting to like my nose just in this conversation. Maybe I won't get one.
What
Well,
about the
that
documentary
document,
footage?
that'd be
gotta-
funny.
you
You do a
gotta-
whole documentary and then end up not
Exactly.
getting
It's
it.
it's like no. Based on this
Love
man, you
yourself.
gotta
It
do
just
it.
goes to show you how much people want to see before and after photos.
It's like, nah,
So
you
if I
started
put
it.
it on YouTube right before the reveal, will be like 12 advertisements. Like you have to watch 12 commercials, and I monetize the shit out of it.
That's it, dude. And then it's like a great rock and roll scandal. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I'm like, I changed my mind.
And then the credits roll.
Yeah, big nose for life.
Yeah, just all in.
All right.
Oh.
Esther Steinberg, thank you so much.
Yeah,
Check
Esther, it's
out
been a
her
pleasure.
special comedy special Burning Bush on Amazon. Her album, the first album, Hebrew School Dropout. Check her out online.
Thank you.
Esther.Steinberg. And that's it. Anything else? Thank you so much.
Yeah, pleasure meeting
This
you.
was
Thank you
so
so much for taking
fun.
the time.
Yeah, it was good
you're
times.
awesome. Oh, good luck to you. Congratulations on everything, and looking forward to what's next.
Go. Let's do it.
Let's
All right.
fucking
Have a
do
great
it.
day. Peace.
Bye.
All right, peace.
Bye. Oh, that was awesome, Sal. You came through, buddy.
Yeah, there it is, Reg. There it is.
There it is. Oh, dude. Esther was hilarious. Dude, she's funny.
Mm-hmm,
Funny as hell. Holy cow. I gotta watch. I only saw some clips of the special, so I'm gonna go watch the whole special and listen to the album too.
Yeah.
She got a new fan, bro. She got a new fan.
Yeah,
so
cool.
I know she was in Sacramento with you. So next time when she comes to San Francisco, I'll go check her out. Say what's up. Meet her in person.
Cool, man. Cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of San Francisco, I'll be there and coming up next week, buddy.
April
Coming out to
4th.
my show, headline in a week
April.
from when this drops. So this will drop Tuesday. So in 1 week.
April 4th, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, April 4th. I'm on, man. I'll be
He's
there.
on.
Who else is on the show with you?
I have no idea. I don't think.
Oh, you're so big.
Oh, you know what? He asked me if Kevin Shea might middle and if I'd be cool with it. And I said,
Did you?
well, I'm fine with it. I don't know if Kevin's ego would be cool with that.
Yeah, you can't ask Shea. Who asked you if they wanted Shea to? Who asked you?
The booker, not the guy.
Ron?
Yeah. And
No, he can't. No,
I haven't heard anything, so we'll see.
No, dude. Look, Shea is not gonna middle. I mean, like just I'm gonna put it out here on the podcast now. No,
I haven't heard anything, so it probably did happen.
You can't ask the guy who's headlining the club, for a week at a time, right? Who gets his own headlining night.
Well, he doesn't really does the whole weekend there. He doesn't headline a weekend there.
He's done a weekend, right? Hadn't he done?
Mm-hmm. I don't know, but whatever. Anyway, I'll be there one night, Reg.
Huh?
I'll be there next week. I don't know who else.
I might. Let me see. You'll be here, so maybe I'll put some material together and do a guest set.
Nah, dude. You just said you don't want anybody who has the, you can't.
I said feature. I said middle. I didn't say anything about a guest set. And plus,
look,
man, Sal, this is your show. I'm not trying to hijack your joint. I only do like 5 minutes.
Man,
right?
I don't need a big crater in the middle of the set of the show.
I'll go after the opener.
They'd be like, damn, dude. It was the opener, and then it looked like that meteor that destroyed the dinosaurs, and then Sal came up.
Like, yeah, 5 minutes, man. He can
Hey, so
recover.
that poster, dude, that Chris Voth, he wants to be on the podcast.
Oh,
So
that's great. Let's bring him in.
yeah, we'll have him on. You can talk to him about all your Ron White hate, and then we can talk about the movie.
There's no Ron White hate. Right? I love Ron White with his drink that he never drinks.
I
Right?
bet he does. We'll
His
ask Chris.
cigar and his drink, and so yeah, and I kind of do and then there was another thing, and he's got his thing.
All
No,
right,
man.
buddy. Good times.
Okay.
I'll
Good
see
stuff.
what he says, and then let me
Great
know
guest
about
today, by the way.
all those other guests that you always throw out there. Oh,
Dude,
Chris played basketball too. He goes, I played basketball in college. I was like, Division 1? He's like, no, Division 2. I'm like, oh, that's why we didn't have you on. I'm like, we're trying to get an NBA player on. You think we're gonna have Division 2 players?
dude, no disrespect to the D2s. There are a lot of D2 ballers that, they only went D2 because they didn't have the grades to go D1 at
Who was
the
a
time,
famous
back in the day.
D2 NBA player?
Oh man, there was one. Let's look it up. No, seriously, there's one guy who kind of really did a thing. Let me see.
Are you looking it up?
Yeah.
That means I don't have to look it up.
D2 NBA players. Jalen Morris. I don't know him. Played for the Milwaukee Bucks. Earl Monroe. Played for the Knicks back in the day. Earl Monroe played college basketball at Winston-Salem State and for the NBA's Baltimore Bullets and New York Knicks between 67 and 80. He totaled 926 games. Phil Jackson.
70s. Oh, word.
Phil Jackson, power forward.
I mean, these are like old. Like back in those days, it was.
Well, hold up though. Power forward, University of North
You just
Dakota.
went to college. That was big.
Dude, Phil Jackson played for the University of North Dakota. 11 NBA titles as head coach, 2 NBA titles as a player with New York Knicks, named one of the 10 greatest players of all time or whatever. Division II basketball players who made it to the NBA. Remember Ben Wallace that played for the Detroit Pistons?
He's huge.
Yeah.
And the Cavs. He played for the Cavs for a minute.
Yeah, and he was inducted into the Hall of Fame not too long ago.
All right, Reg, wrap us up. I have to use the bathroom.
Okay. Derek White for the University of Colorado Springs, who plays for the Boston Celtics right now as a D2 guy.
All right.
You know who he is, right?
No.
Okay. All right.
I know who LeBron James is. He didn't go to college.
Yeah, he didn't. He passed all that shit. Went straight to the league. All right, man. Hey, great job today. Esther was hilarious. I think I hope that the audience, thank her for taking some time out to hang out with us and share
for sure
her experiences and her story. Yo, man, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We love doing it. We're gonna keep doing it. So if you do, please like.
This is episode 91, Reg. We got
91. Yes,
we got the 9 down countdown to 100.
There you go. If you liked it, please like, share, and subscribe. We're gonna keep doing it. That's Sal Kalani, and I'm Reggie Steele, and this is Spitballin. Peace.
Hey.